Hey, and welcome back to Vanessa's podcast. And today I have someone who's going to answer a question about editing for indie author and self-published author. Her name is Ceri Savage, and she has her own company called Savage Edit. And so she's here, and she's going to answer a question. Hi there.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great, thank you for being here. And I know you've been doing that for a few years now.
Yeah, since 2016, really. Yeah, so about 4 years.
So you're really an expert on editing.
I think so, yeah. I've been working with indie authors for all that time, so I've definitely learned a lot. Yeah.
And because that's your expertise, and you have a lot of indie authors coming to you, and they come with their question, and so you hear those questions all the time. So you're able to.
Definitely.
All
Yeah,
right.
you hear the same questions and you hear what priorities indie authors have, yeah.
And I know there's like misinformation, too much information, and too little information out there. And I know sometimes I get confused too when I try to help my listeners. And I try to give them the maximum information that I think is the best. But everybody is new, and everybody has different way of looking at things. So for some people, sometimes they do get lost into like, should I do this and that, and should I pick that, and they don't know which company is legit or not. So let me see. I'm going to start asking you the question, and hopefully it helps people. So my number one question is, what advice do you have for writers that will self-publish and edit on their own?
So writers who want to self-edit their work, is that what you mean?
Yeah, they will self-publish and edit by themselves.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, the budgets of indie authors sometimes, force people to self-edit. So, that's what sometimes has to happen. My advice would be, there are many techniques to kind of catch out mistakes in your own work. One technique could be to print off your writing. For some reason, our brains just catch mistakes better when it's in print. So try to print off some of your chapters and read them in print, and then make notes as you go along. Also read out loud. Even when I'm editing my own writing, and even when I'm editing my client's writing, I always read out loud.
That helps you to catch mistakes.
Yes, exactly. It means that I'm not skipping over any words in my mind. It means that I'm catching all the mistakes as they come my way. And you can also download some quite reliable grammar and spell check programs as well. For example, Pro Writing Aid or Grammarly.
I really like Grammarly. That's the one I used to use. Yeah. It's really good.
It is really good, and you can get different payment plans as well, and you can get a free version. You just have to be very careful not to depend on them too much, because they do make mistakes. They don't cap on everything. So use your own human intuition at the same time.
Like, because there's people who will just say automatically think it's going to fix every single error, and so if you don't recheck, then there's a chance that you're going to publish with mistakes. So that's not too good. And I've done that too. I have had on my first book where I did that. I wanted to do everything myself, and I went to look for all the free software, all the free programs, and unfortunately at the end I realized I had tons of mistakes here. So my next question is, what are the common traps for indie author in matter of editing choice, like where they get into a trap?
Yeah, I'm part of a lot of indie author, groups on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and you can really tell that people are worried about falling into traps in terms of finding an editor. So one trap you could avoid is, don't trust anyone that gives you an extremely low price. It's one of those things where if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
If you have a budget, like, pay a little bit more for quality editing. and always ask for a sample edit. So don't just go straight into a contract with an editor. Always ask them for a sample edit. Any decent editor will offer that automatically.
I love that, because I remember there's times where if you ask that, they will say, I need $25 or $50 just for a sample. And they will find a way to get you to pay.
Yeah, I would say that's a trap,
Yeah.
Definitely you should get a sample edit. For example, we offer 1,000 words. So some people offer, they might offer 700 words. That's also quite decent. But definitely a free sample edit is something you want to ask for. And if you can get recommendations from people you know and trust and other indie authors, that's even better. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. The next question related to that: how do you edit a book with the minimum cost if you didn't have, let's say, more than $50?
Yeah, that would be quite a low budget, to be honest. If you had a regular length book, you could choose.
I know it's difficult.
It's a tough one. Yeah. You could invest that money in, editing programs, maybe get like premium versions of Grammarly and stuff like that. But I would recommend, at least getting a proofreader. So a proofreader is always going to be the cheapest option, because that's the person that kind of it's the last editor to look over your book.
Yeah, I really like that. That's the part that I usually miss a lot of people miss, and they don't know what it means. Do you know, can you describe what a proofreader is?
Yeah, of course. So a proofreader is the person who reads your book and picks up on spelling errors, typos, grammar mistakes, just like basic things that your reader would notice, and makes your book look professional. Okay. So it's just like the most basic form of editing, basically.
Okay.
And that's always the cheapest option as well, because it is more basic. But proofreaders are usually the most affordable of the editing options. And if you do have a limited budget, I would kind of recommend trying to negotiate a little bit. If you find a proofreader, try and get the price down. I've definitely, been open to negotiations with my clients.
Okay, sounds good. You're right. There might be some people who are open to that.
Try and have it down a little bit. Yeah, that's always a good option as well. Yeah.
So, what do you think about if the indie author decide to do it on his own with just that, the cheapest way? Is he at risk of failing to reach, people to buy his book?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that they would be at risk of failing. I would say that the more you invest in this process in general, whether that's time, effort, energy, money, then that helps. That does have a correlation to success,
Yes.
So if you can invest more, then do. If you can invest money in a line editor and a developmental editor as well as a proofreader, then you are going to have more chance of getting ahead.
I love that. That sounds really good. Yeah, and it's never too late. Some people think once they already publish, they go with Kindle on Amazon, they think it's too late. But no, there's other publishing company and there's other self-publishing companies. So, and you can always refix and resubmit another version of your book. So you can always fix something.
Definitely, yeah. That's one of the best things about being an indie author is once your book is out there, you can just upload a new edition in which you've made changes. So don't worry too much about that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because some people are stuck into it's too late. It's out there. I told everybody. I did my lunch. Or they did so much marketing into getting the book that they think that it's too late now.
No, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. You have, unlimited editions that you can upload. So you can definitely go back if your budget, suddenly expands. then definitely go back, get a developmental editor, get a line editor, and see how that makes a difference to your sales.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it will make a difference. Yeah. I think, let's say you pick somebody who has zero experience in editing, and they found that great editor, and the book's interesting. I think there will be a difference between that person who didn't do anything, didn't hire someone, or didn't get any help. Yeah.
Those small, seemingly small things, those are the ones that make a difference, like in this process, because anyone can do it. Anyone is doing it, but not everyone is doing it well. And those decisions, that's what really helps. That's what really makes the difference.
That's true. And I feel like you feel more like you're part of a team when you have other people in it with you also.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
And what is the most important rule in matter of editing to you? What would be the most important rules?
I mean, the most important rule I would say is just, get an editor. Work out your budget first and find an editor that's willing to work with that budget, and just at least get proofreading, because there's nothing more off-putting as a reader as if you're reading through an ebook and you've just got mistakes every other sentence.
Yeah, that's terrible.
No one's going to want to read that. It's not fun.
Yeah. And you know what else is funny is someone who you come across somebody's blog for the first time. Like sometimes you just start with just short article or just somebody's blog, and you start reading and you see all of these mistakes before you get to the book, and you're thinking, I don't know, should I go and read that book or not?
I mean, it's fine. Like, we all make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So we all make mistakes. That's okay. But you need to go back and have someone look over it and make them catch those mistakes, because your reader's just not going to be patient enough with you, to be honest, to overlook them. Yeah.
And what we don't think about, of course, there's all type of reader. So we have to keep that in mind. There's the slow reader, the fast reader, the illiterate, not literate. So you can read at your pace, but we also have to remember that some of the readers are smart and they want to be treated with the intelligence that they deserve, I think. So if we want to catch this kind of reader, we do have to put the work into make it a pleasant reading without spelling errors and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. You want to make the reading experience as pleasurable as possible for the reader. And have like a neat, tidy manuscript. That's a very clear goal that will help the reader enjoy your book. I'd say my tip would just don't underestimate the importance of editing. It will make the difference. Yeah.
And the last question: what is the editing success looks like to you?
Do you mean in terms of what a successful edit would be?
Yeah, like someone did it the right way and it came out perfectly.
Yeah. I would say that's, a successful edit would be one in which all the doubts that you had about the story and the language are kind of addressed, and you're given feedback by the editor who can have a conversation with you about how to make your manuscript better, and you can then move on to this second draft, which is, a lot more polished, a lot more refined, and to be able to see what a huge difference there is between your first and second draft, that would be success. I think we've all been in a situation where we've rewritten our first draft, and it's just so much better the second time.
Yes, that's true. Even though sometimes when we, in the process of writing, we think it's perfect, and then when we go back, we realize how many mistakes we made. Like even in just word meaning, or just like word association, or and how we could add better words too. Make it more meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah. Repetitions, meanings that we think are clear because we're writing the whole story and we know what we're thinking in our heads. But you know, that meaning might not be clear to the reader. And that's exactly what the editor does, is they look out for the reader and they make sure that the reader is understanding and enjoying your story.